Sometimes we forget why we're here. It's easy to fall off track. These help us remember.
These battle scars don't look like they're fading, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Growing up I had a dream, something no one else could see. Tell me what it means when your faith is falling beneath your knees and you can't breathe. Everything you see reminds you of what you're not or something you won't be. You gotta take what you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in the business. Not because they wanna do it, just because they heard it pays. And who the fuck wants to be poor knowing that's how we've been raised? Society is getting heavy, I can feel the weight. The pressure of success is like 100 million pounds of shame. And that's the reason I'm staying up late, trying to find a way to escape the stereotypes this day and age is making me feel like the only way I'll be happy is getting signed to a label and making money through rapping. I wanna share my emotion because this world is attacking the very principle of life that lets the people be happy. If you don't have a reason to breathe, why even live? These battle scars are impressions of everything that it is.
Don't look like they're fading, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battle scars don't look like they're fading, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Now, if I had a voice that reached 100 million people, I'd tell them there's a reason that we're all created equal. Cause some decide to be great and some decide a sequel to an average person's life is simply what they want to be. So you make your decision, all I know is what I'm given. Won't define the life I lead or the way I dwell in existence. I've seen a greater image on the walls of where I'm living, and the words twisted and scripted remind me of something written. Faith is a gift that is given down to the people. If one believes it, one receives it. It's given if it is needed. Don't ever think you're trapped in a life that you never wanted. Your options are infinite, that's some mathematical logic. I'm not saying I'm a prophet, I'm speaking for what it's worth. These lyrics define my prayers and these battle scars on my church. Not saying I'm a prophet, I'm speaking for what it's worth. These lyrics define my prayers, these battle scars on my church.
Don't look like they're fading, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battle scars don't look like they're fading, don't look like they're ever gone away. They ain't never gonna change. These battles.
Okay, gotta scoot over. I was worried for a second that this dumb little, I gotta check, make sure there's no lipstick on my teeth. No, this purple lipstick gets all over the place. But hello everyone. Should have done all that before the stream started. I know, I never claimed to be organized. And I have this little monitor on the side that always shows my wrong camera. It was showing me this view. Obviously, I don't want this view. I mean, it's cute that you can see my studio and stuff, but that's not the view I want. This is the view I want. Okay, I need to get a better camera. That side camera, look at the color difference. It's crazy, isn't it? Hey, Steven, look, that to this. Wow, what a difference. I don't know. It's starting to really bug me. But that's a cheap little, I want to have some really cool multi-camera views because Ecamm just did an upgrade where it okay, let me tell you about this upgrade my software just got. So say you were doing things like you were doing your nails, like you do. And so you had like an overhead camera and the face camera so you can alternate back and forth. Ecamm now records both of them simultaneously. So not just when you switch cameras, so you'll have a full separate video track of your overhead camera, a full separate video track of your forward camera. I mean, that is super cool because then you can mix it in together later. And if you have a guest on, it gives you separate audio tracks. Very cool features. This is not an easy program to learn, but it is so amazingly powerful. It's only for Mac users. If you're a Mac user, I highly recommend Ecamm Live. I get no promo codes, no commission. I just love the program. I should try to get them to sponsor me because I love them so much. But I am so sorry that I really... Oh, well, thank you, Apuma. I like being called a MILF. I know you're probably spamming, but hey, that's the nicest thing I've been called all day. And I see some of my regular listeners, you're on YouTube. If you could please, I'm like begging you, get a Twitch account and watch me on Twitch. I'm really trying to make my Twitch affiliate status. Once I get that status, you can watch wherever you want, babies. But I really need to get my Twitch affiliate status. I've met all of the milestones. I have enough subscribers. I've streamed enough hours. What I need now is a higher average concurrent viewers. So if you could please go over to twitch.tv/Pink Flame of Liberty and then comment from there, because it will show up on my screen. I'd so appreciate it. All right, let's do the little bit of grifting and then we're going to move on because I haven't streamed a lot. I'm streaming second time tonight though. Twitch only. Twitch only. My review of The Anarchists right after it airs. It will be reposted on YouTube tomorrow, but if you want to see it tonight, you have to go to Twitch. So, my sponsor, at least one of my sponsors, I love this guy, Sean Dempsey, out of New Hampshire. Look, I could see my green screen thing is screwing up. I don't mean to have that turned on. I'm streaming on Twitch because I have it running upstairs because I checked it before I came down here. So I had it scheduled. It's definitely running on Twitch. And when I was up there, it said I had 3 viewers. So I don't know. Let me know if you have a problem. That will really suck if I screwed this up because it'll bring my average down. Anyway, Sean Dempsey, I met him at PorkFest, not this last PorkFest, but the PorkFest prior. He wrote this children's book. It is beautifully illustrated. I mean, it's like really simple drawings, but I just think children would really be drawn to them. It's kind of like, you know, of the Tuttle Twins type variety where it teaches your kids libertarian principles and how to live a full and fulfilling life without teaching your kids politics, because that's gross. I'm sorry. Very young children, like politically indoctrinating them, I just think is gross. But I do think infusing them with good life principles is your job as a parent. This is a great book by Sean Dempsey, again, of the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire. You can get it at tale2brothers.com or on Amazon. Along the bottom is all of my grifting. I desperately need to replace some lost patrons. I didn't lose patrons because they were unhappy with the content. It's the economy, stupid, right? So patreon.com/Pink Flame of Liberty. And damn it, I forgot to change my ending screen because I did get somebody who upped their patronage. Thank you. And I wanted to give you credit on my closing screen. Richard, you'll see the comments on my screen. I see your Twitch comments is what I was trying to say, but all of the comments show up on the screen. That's why I put comments up on the screen. But you're helping me out. You're helping me out. So, this is a history one we're doing today. But I'm begging again, please, Patreon. Okay. Crap. There was something I wanted to pull up. Those of you who were paying attention to the last LNC meeting, for the newer listeners, I am the National Secretary for the Libertarian Party, but these are all my personal views. This is my personal channel. Don't remove me, bro. Okay. If you read the chair's report, and actually, I think I don't know if I can pull that up. I'm going to try to pull that up in the background and just jibber jabber in the meantime. Never mind. I'm not going to do that. I should have had it up ahead of time. I remember what it said. And part of the strategic plan and the chair's report, what Chair McCardle had talked about was, I'm sorry, I was reading, well, you should be watching on a full-size computer, Richard. I can't help you. Oh, my God. Parliamentarians, we complain so much. Point of order, Mr. Brown. So Chair McCardle had said that part of our strategic plan is to explore, you know, there were things that were good ideas in the past that should be tried again. And one of those things was Project Archimedes. Project Archimedes was originally a brainchild of, people have chastised me in the past for saying it was just the brainchild of Steve Dasbach. I've been told other people were intimately involved. The only one I know for sure is Steve Dasbach, so I'm going to continue to give him credit. Okay? I am going to continue to give him credit. And I think he got screwed by the following. LNC pulled the plug on Project Archimedes just as it was about to bear fruit. You might be asking, what is Project Archimedes? That's what we're going to talk about. But Angela, in the strategic plan for the next 2 years, talked about potentially reviving Project Archimedes into something she called, I think, Project Cicero. You know, let's just get all of the philosophers in there. Damn anarchist bra straps. They are so rebellious. They're like, stay up, don't tell me what to do. So, what I have pulled out of the historical archives that I'll be able to put on the screen for you guys, hey Paul, is the original, I call it like a prospectus, but I know that's like a financial term, but the original brochure that had went out to the membership back, maybe it has a date on it. Let's see if this has a date on it. If I had to guess, I think it was 1999-ish, 2000-ish, about this new Project Archimedes. I'm pretty sure there's a date on it towards the back. Well, the goal was year 2000, so it had to be coming out in 1998 or 1999. And a more recent article on Project Archimedes. So what I want to do, and the comments won't all be on the screen because I am going to want to pull up a, how did Chrome disappear from, I gotta pull up Chrome. 1 second here, because I, do I really want to pull up Chrome? I do, maybe I don't. Well, crap. Hold on 1 second. I need to pull up Elpedia, but I realize right now that I might not be able to log in as an administrator to Elpedia. Let's see. Let's see if it shows me recent changes. Upload log. Archimedes, here it is. Yay, let me download this, and I am going to pull this up on the screen for you guys, because we're going to go over what Archimedes was, because I think a lot of you may not know. All right, let me go back to my screen here, but before we do that, I wanted to show you guys a more recent article about Archimedes. So if you've ever heard of Downsized DC, it's another like political group. I mean, it's not a political party, but they do political action. And Jim Babka, who a lot of you know, is involved with Downsized DC. I am drinking a mimosa, just in case you were curious. So this article is from January 4th, 2019. So 20 years after Project Archimedes, he wrote about it. And I'm going to read this to you because it will give you a nice background of somebody looking back on it 20 years later. And the title of the article is The Legend of Project Archimedes. And if you're wondering why it was called Archimedes, I'm going to show you on the cover here of the little prospectus. Whoops. This way. It says, give me a lever long enough and a place to stand and I shall move the world. That was the whole idea behind the name Project Archimedes. And Diana, I sure love my mimosas too. So here's Jim Babka. He says, the letter that changed Jim Babka's life, Project Archimedes. Now, if you have a letter that changed Jim Babka's life, that's a big deal, because Jim Babka's a big deal. Why do I keep thinking I have lipstick on my teeth? Nope, I don't. It's just this purple just makes me very paranoid. All right. Jim Babka says, in 1996, remember that was the year of Harry Brown, I was a new libertarian, a refugee from the GOP. My friend Chet had introduced me to libertarians a year before, but I wasn't impressed until I saw Harry Brown on C-SPAN. Harry Brown changed my life. 1996 was also the year I got the internet, and the Brown campaign had a website. I'd log on 3 times per day to check for updated TV appearances. I wanted to see Harry as often as possible. As a result, I learned his soundbite-driven pattern, and Harry Brown was the king of the sound bites. For instance, he gives some of his sound bites. Government doesn't work. Its war on poverty has increased poverty. Its war on drugs has escalated drug use and crime in every American city. And says, I craved his great libertarian offer. Now, what Harry Brown had was something called the Great Libertarian Offer. I have Harry Brown's campaign paperwork sitting right over there. Shit. Should I run and get it? I'm trying to see if I can see where it's at really quickly. Maybe you guys have no idea how much. Give me 1 second. You have no idea how much historical shit I have back here. Okay, I just grabbed a random stack, and let's see if we can find... I'm sorry that I shook my camera. I just grabbed a random stack. I am pretty sure somewhere in this stack I have the Great Libertarian... Oh my God, but funny. I found the Project Archimedes mailing right there. Give me a lever long enough. It's funny, because that's the time frame I have here. We used to send out great mailings, but watch, none of these right here will be the Harry Brown stuff. But let's see. No, these look like all LNC membership lists. What's this? No, God dang it. I was hoping to have some Harry Brown stuff here. That would have been super cool if I grabbed that right away, wouldn't it have? What is this? We're just going to flip through for a second, but if I can't find it, we will leave that be. Progress report. This is the 90. Oh, this is 96. It's a little bit too early. Okay. All right. Clam Slammer says, I take it you're a liberal Democrat. I sure hope not, considering I'm the National Secretary of the Libertarian Party. So I would guess I'm a Libertarian. At least I would hope so. All right. I don't have, hey JJ, I don't have, I don't know, there's probably some libertarians who think I'm a libertarian, who think I'm a liberal Democrat until I don't know. It's the hair. I know, it's the hair. The hair fools everybody. Okay, all right. I don't have Harry Brown's Great Libertarian Offer, but we'll do that some other time. Alrighty. And here's his Great Libertarian Offer. Would you give up your favorite federal program if it meant you never had to pay income taxes again? JJ is watching on Twitch. Yep, I would. I would definitely do it. Many people reading this letter don't remember Harry Brown, and that's a shame. He was quite simply the best libertarian communicator the party ever ran for president, and that is true. If you watched enough of him on TV as much as I did, you'd think he had to be winning support. No, I didn't expect Harry to win, but when my first election day as a libertarian arrived, I was stunned and saddened that Harry didn't even get 1%. What I needed most at that point was a reason to hope. All right. And here it continues. The hope we needed arrived in an unexpected form, a fundraising letter. For months, I'd been attempting to locate this letter because it inspires our next big idea, and the man who wrote it is the perfect person to manage this project. Where'd I put? Okay, never mind. I wanted to make sure I didn't lose what I was finally getting to. But before I get to this big idea, let me tell you about this incredible letter. And I believe what I'm holding in my hand is the incredible letter that Jim Babka is writing about 20 years later here. Most political letters are fear-based. They could be written in crayon. Isn't that the truth? They depict the worst possible intentions of the worst possible partisan opponent. If the recipients are scared enough, they will send a check. Perry Willis, the national director of the LP at that time, used a different approach. And I loved Perry Willis's fundraising letters, by the way. Perry didn't try to provoke fear, anger, or hatred. He tried to inspire hope by talking of plans and progress. Plans as in, here's how we'll use your money. Progress as in, here's what we did with your previous donations. Perry would tell you what worked, and even more unusual, he would tell you what didn't work. The lessons learned would modify the strategy so that your next dollars would be even better purposed. Perry Willis had been a libertarian long enough to know that Harry Browne wasn't going to win a large number of votes, no matter how good of a candidate he was. The media establishes the range of acceptable choices, usually just the Democrat and Republican, and the voters select the one they fear the least. And lastly, these realities always leave the LP candidates out in the cold and LP activists in a state of post-election depression. Perry knew he would have to address this despair, and he did so with his first post-election plans and progress report. 22 years have passed since I've gotten that letter, and I have never forgotten it. That is pretty incredible for a fundraising letter. To say 22 years later, you still remember that fundraising letter, and that fundraising letter still inspired you. No wonder Angela wants to revive this. Perry's vision was presented as a math exercise. The Libertarian ticket did as well as it should have given how many donors we had. If Libertarians wanted to do better, they need more Libertarians. Perry added up the candidate support. Bob Dole spent more than $8 per vote. Ross Perot and Bill Clinton spent a bit less. Harry Browne spent less than that. Translated, Harry Browne would have needed about 400,000 donors to be competitive. Therefore, enrolling 400,000 new LP donors was the most important thing to do. Perry proposed a program to do that, called Project Archimedes. The ancient Greek mathematician Archimedes claimed that with a long enough lever and a good place to stand, he could move the world. So Project Archimedes was designed to be a lever that would do exactly that, move the world. The political system might be rigged, but membership enrollment was the simple thing libertarians could consistently do to control their own destiny. So once I heard this argument, my hope returned. The letter introducing Project Archimedes was the first in a long chain, without which you wouldn't be reading these words right now. It led me into a libertarian career. And then he goes on to say how downsized, I don't really want to get into downsized DC, because I'm trying to stay with Archimedes at this point. So he says, in the Archimedes era, the LP grew to record levels, more than 34,000 members. If you include subscribers, donors who didn't officially join, then that was 38,000. That was late 1999. This record still stands, and it still stands today. We have under 18,000 dues-paying members right now. During the time of Project Archimedes, we had over 34,000. So he goes, you might wonder what happened. A lot of people ask what happened. Remember, I gave you the time frame of Archimedes, 1999, 2000. What happened in 2001? 9/11. Fear-based politics ruled the day. Our membership plummeted after 9/11. Okay. So it says, Project Archimedes was based on a simple strategic idea. Discovery before persuasion. Find the people who already agree with you and ask them to join. This will then give you greater resources to spend persuading people who disagree. This is what I said to Westward. This is what I said to Westward. I go, why? I go, if we're selling hot dogs, Why are we continuing to chase people who've already said they prefer hamburgers? Why aren't we going after the people we already know like hot dogs? We can get the hamburger lovers later, but why don't we at least get all the people that like hot dogs first? Oh boy. So, that was the theory behind Project Archimedes. So now that, I gave you a little bit of Jim Babka's view on it, and I feel much better about being such a big fan of Project Archimedes now that I know how Jim Babka felt about it. But I think this is the letter that he says rocked his world. So I want to pull up this packet. It's a whole packet, you could tell, and this is double-sided. So unfortunately, that means I'm going to pull up another screen. At first, LP News is going to come up, but then I'll pull up the Archimedes thing because I still had this set up for my normal LP Time Capsule show. So hold on one second. Where did I save Archimedes? Here is where I saved it. All right, let's pull this over. Let me hide LP News. And let's resize this a little bit. Here we go. All right, so this was the cover. Project Archimedes, building a competitive libertarian party for the next millennium, excuse me. And, then it gave you, oh, thank you so much for the super chat. For those of you on Twitch don't see this, but Trendelin, thank you very much. Oh, God, that I need to change, I'm going to put this over here so you could see it here. But thank you very much. It is so appreciated. Alrighty, so here's the contents. That was in this letter. So they had the Libertarian Party growth plan, executive summary, report of status, and so on. So this was a nice little package that got sent out. So don't worry, we're not going to read every page, but I wanted to give you guys a taste of what we're going to be looking at as a new LNC. The way Project Archimedes worked back then wouldn't work today because it was a direct mail program. Direct mail in your mailbox, that doesn't raise money today. But we can use modern electronic tools to mimic this. It can be, that's why Angela was calling it Project Cicero rather than Project Archimedes. But it's the same thing. So here's the first page of the little pitch that had been put out. So the objective is to become competitive, and it gives certain metrics for becoming competitive. And they wanted to recruit between 100,000 and 400,000 dues-paying members by January 1st, 2000. Now, some people might say, oh, they only got to 34,000. It was a failure. No, it wasn't. It got yanked. The problem with things like direct mail, you have to invest a lot of money front-loaded, and then as people sign up and then renew, you start making the money later on. It's definitely one of those programs that you have to spend a lot of money up front. You have to spend money to make money. But right as it was about to bear fruit, they yanked it. The new LNC got cold feet and yanked it. And unfortunately, we do that a lot as a party because we change leadership every 2 years. 34,000, I think that would have, I think they would have hit the 100,000 mark if they kept this up. I think 400,000 was probably way ambitious, but I think we would have gotten the 100,000 if they kept it up. All right. And this will allow us to raise between 20 million and 100 million during the course of the campaign, and that was for the 2000 campaign. Now, that is in 2,000 year dollars. So it says, these members will be recruited through a massive direct mail campaign and or the creation of hundreds of thousands of inquiries, 20% of which we have historically converted into members. We can do this again. We just got to find out the best way to reach them. And direct mail's not entirely dead. It isn't. There's a reason why Reason Magazine still puts out a paper magazine. I still get it. Those of us of a certain vintage are still interested in that. It says this plan is based on a strategy we call discovery before persuasion. Numerous national polls indicate there are tens of millions of people who already hold essentially libertarian views. And that's true. Alrighty, so again, we're not reading the whole thing. We're just going to go over the highlights so I can give you an idea of where we might be going in the next couple of years. Of course, Angela hasn't rolled out her exact vision and implementation of that. But she did hint that this is where she wants to go. She more than hinted it. Okay, there's really nothing we need to cover here. He's just really explaining, you know, the direct mail campaign. Alrighty. Where's page 1? Did I already do page 1? I did. Why did I do it this way? So here's the executive summary. Right here. The news so far is very good regarding Project Archimedes. So this isn't then the original letter that Bit Babka was talking about. It's already been going on a little bit by the time of this letter. It says the dollar return per new member is larger than expected. The mailing costs are smaller than expected. We've added over 6,000 new contributors, so on. So he gives some metrics that shows there is some success. So report on the status of stage 1. So you see this is a report that was to Steve Dasbach and Ron Krickenberger from Perry Willis, who we mentioned before. So it says we've now mailed over 1,020,000 pieces of prospecting mail. That is a lot of mail, and that is a lot of money. To 51 different lists with a total rollout potential of over 30 million names. So that is pretty incredible. He says this means we've sent more prospecting mail during the past 8 months than the prior 26 years. A happy side benefit is that we now have more than 28,700 dues-paying members. So it definitely was a success, and they did this like A/B testing. They did trial 1, trial 2, and so far trial 1 had a better response. So, you know, they started modifying the program based upon results. So, it says, but on to the good news. Our original plan had projected an average contribution of $37, but we actually averaged $44 on our December tests, $46 on our February, and $43 on our April. They've reduced the cost of their mailings. So that is really good. But in the bold part in the middle, it says, perhaps the most exciting result of our work so far is that we have already identified over 1 million names that we can mail to and cover our costs or turn a small profit. That is absolutely fantastic. And thank you so much for the super chat, Frank Martin. I truly appreciate it, and I am going to change that. I don't know when that background changed to that black that you could hardly see. It used to be pink, of course. I've got to work on that. I keep saying I'm going to change that, and I keep forgetting. But thank you, Frank. I truly appreciate it. So, it says, and they wanted to reach the libertarian billionaires. Why not? So, this is up on Lpedia. I'm going to create an article called Project Archimedes. I haven't done it yet. This attachment is uploaded into Lpedia, but I'll do the article because there is something on here that I can't read to you that you're going to need to read on your screens. But it shows you how much it costs them per mailing, their A/B testing, how much money they made. So it's right here. They compiled a lot of data. Like, this was a tested, tried, and true program. And we can do this again. Steve Dasbach got shafted when this got yanked prematurely. And there's another page of data on the second page there. talking more about the rollout. And Hoser for Life asked me what I think of Michael Malice. I adore Michael Malice. I'm going to tell you my favorite Michael Malice joke. Well, you know, he's always funny. Well, there's two. Somebody called him a role model, and he goes, I'm not a role model, I'm a troll model. But he was interviewing, I forget which show it was he was on, with some people who just couldn't grasp the concept of anarchy. So they said to him, you mean there won't be any heads of state? And he goes, yeah, there will be. They'll just be in baskets. And I just thought that was freaking hilarious, because I have a dark sense of humor and I adore Michael Malice. All right, now here, this might be one of the letters that Jim Babka was talking about, but it's an update letter, so it's not the original letter, but it's basically an update letter to members of the party. So it says, here's how Project Archimedes will work. We'll use sophisticated direct marketing techniques, and we can still do that digitally. It does not have to be by mail, but there's no reason we can't incorporate mail as well. To discover Americans who are most likely to join the Libertarian Party, and to convince them to join with repeated direct mail solicitations. While the concept is simple, the implementation is complex, and they enclosed the report. All right. And it says that they've seen another organization have success with this. And I just wanted to see if there's anything else. Yeah, this is some very interesting statistics, and I know some people have disputed this, but I have no reason to disbelieve it. It says, 1,000 invested will immediately produce 24 new members. Our past experience shows that these members will contribute an average of $75 in their first year in the party, for a first-year return on investment of $1,800. We typically retain 70% of our members from year to year. I think that's gone down, because organizations are moving away from membership models, and I know that research has shown that the younger generations aren't as much joiners as the older generations. We'll have to work with that. We'll have to find ways to work with the patterns of younger people. It says members contribute an average of $210 in presidential years. So at this time, to me, this seemed like a formula for success. So then they do the ask at the end to contribute to Project Archimedes. So this is, you know, some of the types of fundraising letters that used to go out. I know the scan's a little wonky. I see how you see it's a little meh. It's because in our records, as you can see, my originals, they're laminated. Laminated items do not scan well. You get this, but it's enough to see. You know, it's enough to see what was mailed out. And as you can see, it was mailed out in this big, hold on, right here. Is this it? And this is a big envelope. Actually, it looks like a piece of paper there because of white on white, but you can see it here. And on the back is like the flap. So everything was mailed out in this big envelope, folded in half, shoved in here. And then within that, there was, you know, this envelope to return. And it was, you know, no postage necessary. You had your little donation card here for Project Archimedes. And also with it, what is this thing? There was another thing in here. Oh, it's weird. It's this side that for some reason it's not showing up in that scan. It's showing up as white when it actually is a tan. I do need to get a better scan of this, particularly since this is something that we're going to be doing in the future. So I might like actually take it to Office Depot or something and get a good scan done of this. So I've got a decent scanner at home as well too. I have a flatbed. I just need to maybe set it up and get a better scan. So now you got a little bit of an idea of, in the past, what Project Archimedes was and the success that it had. And I think that should make you excited. It certainly makes me excited about what we can do for the future. I'm glad that Angela's interested in this. I'll keep you guys updated as much as possible on, you know, where we end up going with this. Let me... Okay, now we're pulling back up. Unfortunately, the older comments don't reload. Hello, Nathan. So I'm just taking a sip of my mimosa here, but man, I'm getting quicker with these streams. This one is under 45 minutes. That's good for me. But I'm getting ready to go watch The Anarchists. I will be doing a review of, what are we on, episode 5? I think we're on episode 5. The review will be on Twitch only. I'll upload it to YouTube, but it'll be a couple days. I'm trying to, again, get my Twitch affiliate status so that I can start monetizing my Twitch channel. But I appreciate you all. I am like so thrilled that so many people were interested in Project Archimedes. So hopefully you will, and yes, Dave, this was back when the LP was in the Watergate. I drove by the Watergate when I was in DC this past weekend. So what else? I think that's it. So again, I'll keep you up to date, but I'm always give it a few seconds at the end here to see if there's any questions or comments about anything covered, but I did promise you we would talk about this. So sip, enjoy some mimosa with me while we just wait a few minutes. And if you are the person, because I don't usually say names unless I have permission, even though they do scroll at the end, but if you are the patron that just upped your dollar amount, thank you. I'm sorry I haven't updated my closing screen yet. I had it all set up to do and I forgot. I'm going to run up and do that. I need to run up and take care of that. Dave Davis asked if the office at the Watergate was bigger. I don't know. I know the square footage was all consolidated in one floor. So even if it wasn't bigger, it was probably more usable because we have that 3-story townhouse. But let me tell you something. The rent at the Watergate, and we moved out of there right as I was joining the party, right around 2014, was $10,000 a month. Our mortgage, when we had a mortgage, was $4,000, I think, a month. So we had a huge cost savings by buying our own building. And thank you, Michael Downs. Yes, that is the type of future fundraising we will be doing, and I will certainly keep you posted on that. And I greatly appreciate the super chat. Okay, guys, I'm going to go update that closing screen as I promised. I'm going to get ready to watch The Anarchists. Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you. I'm going to try to stream tomorrow. Elizabeth Nolan Brown from Reason Magazine. Boy, like, was this Get Your Knickers in a Twist Day? Was this National Get Your Knickers in a Twist Day for absolutely no reason and I missed it? Because I would like to celebrate that day. If it was that day and I missed it, where's the Hallmark card? Because she certainly did. She got her knickers all twisted up her butt crack. And I'm going to be talking about that. She's very upset about a tweet the National Party did. Do I think it was the greatest tweet in the world? No. Do I think it was anything to get like all lathered up about? No. And was it something to lie about people about? No. So we're going to get into that. I might do that tomorrow. I don't know. I kind of hate to do that because I'm one of the few libertarians. I like reason. I'm good friends, not good friends like go and eat dinner with. You know me, I'm very loose with my terminology. But I'm friends with Brian. It was the McCarthy tweet. Yes, Nathan. Boy, did she lose her shit over that. Brian Dougherty's a friend of mine. Whenever he needs LP stuff, he gives me a call. I have a great relationship with him. I always thought I had a good relationship with Reason, but that was a hot take she had, and I have to address it. So maybe I'll do that tomorrow. But what else is going on tomorrow? And this is why I said I might address it tomorrow. Many of you know I am running for office this year, not internal office. I am running for public office. God help the United States. I am running for the town council in Castle Rock, Colorado. So, I'm reading. I'm not so much interested in project. I was finding out he's playing fast and loose the bylaws to try to, yes. Well, Richard, don't leave right this second. I still got to go over the Idaho stuff. I'm not doing that tonight. I don't know what's going on in Idaho. I don't mean to imply that anyone is playing fast and loose. All I'm saying is there is more affiliate stuff coming up. I know virtually nothing about the Idaho thing. I don't have an opinion. Who knows? You know, both sides could be wrong. One side could be right. There could be a nothing burger. I don't know. But all I'm trying to tell you is we will get back onto stuff that interests you more. Okay. Yes, so I am running for town council in Castle Rock, Colorado. And tomorrow night at 8 Mountain is our, first time candidate orientation. I'll take a look at Dave Benner's tweet, Michael B. I know that I was tweeting back and forth with Elizabeth Nolan Brown all day on it. It was such a nothing burger to get upset about. But I'll check out Dave Benner's tweet. But yeah, so I'm going to the new candidate orientation tomorrow at the City of Castle Rock. That's at 8 o'clock Mountain, and that's normally when I'm streaming. But maybe I'll get right home from work, do a quick stream, and then go to the candidate orientation. But I'm kind of behind in my minutes as well. So, yeah, I'm an anarchist running for public office, but I'm also an anarchist I'm a national officer of a political party. Because listen, as much as I hate the system, it's here. I want to minimize it. It's defensive. You know, it's defensive. And I want my town to be better. And I want them to stop raising her taxes. Is that too much to ask? Apparently it is. I want to keep more of my money, and I want my neighbors to as well. All right, everyone. I'm going to get going, and I hopefully will talk to you tomorrow. But if not, it's because I'm at the new candidate orientation. It's just been a busy few weeks, but I'm making it up for you today with 2 streams. You have an awesome night. I'll see you guys on Twitch in a couple hours. All right, bye-bye.
Given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talking like they politicians and choose to be an accountant because it's safe in a business.